Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 21. I am Trevor and with me this week I have Brendan. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Good?
Good. I've been waiting for this.
Have you?
Yeah.
The world's been waiting.
Oh, well, let's hope.
I want to sign you on a big money deal.
The same here.
Really?
I could do with a bit.
You could do it, yeah, it's a nice one. Everybody, obviously we're on YouTube, you're probably watching us there, but you can also get us on SoundCloud if you've got the SoundCloud app, so download that. Twitter at All Sports Weekly. Leave a comment down below if you want us to talk about anything next week and so forth. And you can also message me on allsportsweekly@outlook.com. Okay, mate. You're a big fan of the show, no doubt.
Oh, every week.
Mate, that's it.
If I want to know about sports, and all of them, it's All Sports Weekly.
Mate, you're already paying off. This deal is already looking pretty good.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay, mate. Now, what have you been watching this week, Brendan?
Well, as all good sports people do, love my AFL.
Right.
Love my AFL.
You are a Mexican at heart.
I am.
Born and bred.
Yeah, tacos all the way.
Right. So what have you been watching AFL mainly?
Yeah, mainly this week. Oh, mainly every week, really. Except for, there's a bit of COVID interruption at the moment.
Yes, unfortunate, isn't it?
I was trying to slip a bet on, actually.
The St Kilda sneeze has come back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, who was it? Richmond, West Coast, postponed.
Yeah, has it? Okay.
Well, I couldn't put a bet on Thursday night, and I was wondering why.
Yeah, okay.
How
are we looking for the grand final? That far ahead, do you reckon?
Oh, look, you just got to take it week by week.
Yeah.
You got to do it. They're sort of doing it Wimbledon in the coming weeks. They're starting off at 50% crowds, and then by the final, they're going 100% regardless.
Just whack it Vaccination
in there.
rate's a bit higher there, though. But yeah, okay. I've been watching a little bit of Euro 2020, a bit of AFL, NRL, also a little bit of the basketball. I found myself on SBS the other night watching a bit of Melbourne United versus the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Mate, I didn't watch the whole game, I must admit, but on that one, Melbourne has beaten Southeast Melbourne, goes to the grand final. Perth Wildcats have beaten Illawarra. The grand final starts tonight. The semi-finals, the best of three, they both went down to the decider. Grand final tonight. You watch any basketball, mate?
Oh, look, I have my day.
Yeah.
Not so much these days, but the structure's changed of the basketball in Australia.
Yeah,
so.
The league's on the up. Perth and Melbourne, two big franchises. Bryce Cotton, probably best player in the league for Perth. Grand final starts tonight, so yeah, it's on SBS Vice, I think. So everyone's got access to it if you want to watch it. No, there it is.
I should be able to come across it being on SBS. It should be fine.
Yeah. Not one of those streaming services, mate.
No.
Okay, so let's talk about your beloved AFL, mate. So let's talk about last weekend.
Yep.
Round 13.
Can do.
Big round.
Certainly was.
Eventful round. Geelong defeating Port.
Yep.
Hawks defeating the Swans. That one was that one wasn't in the script.
No, not really.
No.
Especially if you are Sydney.
Yes. And I don't know. Sydney started so well.
They did.
And now I'm not so sure.
Well, they're young. They actually came out of the box this year. And
just ask the Lions.
Yeah. Exactly. And they were not meant to. They should have been a bottom four team. Sort of. They don't like throwing the rebuild around, but they're sort of sitting in that
rebuild.
Yeah, in that sort of space.
We're going to talk rebuilds.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. The longest one.
The longest one ever.
In history.
The pyramids didn't take this long. As the castle rebuild is what we're referring to, everybody. On a side note, question without notice, Buddy Franklin's 9-year deal, $10 million. Good business, bad business?
Worst contract I've ever seen.
Fresh by memory, how many years into that are we?
I think we only have one more.
Right. So I was going to say, you wouldn't want to have too much more because he physically looks like he's...
Yeah, that's right. Look, he can still win matches. But when you look at what do they say? You want premierships, yeah?
And there hasn't
been
been
that sort of money, they haven't had one.
And there won't be one this year.
That's right.
But what about off the field and what about the bums and seats and the marketability of him? He's probably generated a bit of revenue there.
Look, you would think so, but
we're not sort of judging it like that. You're talking about purely football.
Oh, look, you want premierships, and if if you're not getting them for 10 mil, then what are you getting?
I remember back to when it happened, and it was the Giants were really they were swarming, and it was almost like a bit of a, to them. To say, hey, we're the premier club in Sydney, because at that time he was the marquee player.
That's right.
In the comp. Interesting. I don't think that there'd be many other clubs trying to sign 10-year deals. Since.
No, and they tried it with Tippett too.
Yeah.
The back deal, the sort of backdoor deal with the Crows, it didn't sort of pan out.
And they had the cost of living allowance, the COLA at that point too.
Yep.
A bit of a dodge salary cap dispensation. Not as much as the Lions did in the 2000s.
Oh.
But hey.
Let's not go there.
Let's do that. Now, this one, the Eagles at home beat Richmond, and it just sort of further solidifies this view that Richmond just aren't what they used to be. Are you writing them off as far as winning the comp goes, or are you of the camp of if they make the 8, watch out?
Yeah, I think they're a big chance. You know, if anyone's going to do it from 8th, I don't think they're going to get much higher than 8th because I think they
might not make the 8 if they're not careful.
Look, I still have faith in the Blues.
Really?
Well,
what is that founded on?
Well, look, you've got to have faith.
You got it.
Okay, you know, we need to win 9 out of 10 games in the back half.
To make the 8.
I would say at least.
You wouldn't win 9 games in 3 seasons normally, would you?
Well, not at the moment.
No.
But no, I think the Tigers, look, if they can get there, they'll be big.
Okay.
They'll be big.
Because there's more and more people coming up and saying, nah, it's over.
But you see what Dusty does in a quarter?
Yeah.
Like, he just goes, you know what, I want to win this. I've had enough.
The other one that caught my eye was the North Melbourne Giants game. A draw, which is, pretty rare in the AFL. Geez, the Roos would love to win that one when they're coming last and wins are at a premium. But, I don't know, did Giants take them lightly or what happened there, do you reckon?
Yeah, look, I think they did. The Giants are a little bit, I'd like to say the Giants are a little bit like Carlton. Okay,
Do tell.
They've got a lot of good players in that team, and even though Carlton are young, they do have quite a few good players, but they're just not playing as a team. And when things don't go their way, they don't know how to dig themselves out.
So let's talk about Carlton just quickly, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not a Carlton supporter. I don't follow Carlton, but they've been in the bottom half of the table for how long? 20 years?
Well, look, if you want to go back to 2013, we did sneak into that final series.
You only made that because Essendon were eliminated with the peptide scandal.
Yes, well, that's right. So basically...
And you got beaten.
Yeah, well, look, I think we may have been in finals around 2007 and 8, or maybe it was 8 and 9,
Okay.
But then when I say in finals, like, should we have been there? We don't have a premiership, so probably not.
So, the $1 million question, what's wrong with Carlton? So you made a point off camera where a player gets crunched, no one even from his own team goes over to see if he's okay.
That's right.
They've been through a lot of coaches. You've got a lot of... There's a culture there. Players go there. They have to pay overs to get players to come there. Some big signings haven't paid off.
I think we're seeing the turn. Well, for starters, you've got Adam Saad, who's starting to play some good football, and Zach Williams. Now he's back playing where he plays instead of trying to be a midfielder. He's the most expensive back pocket, half-back flank you'll ever have.
Right.
But if he does his job, he's worth every cent.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
Saad's
he's there
got
to do.
that lightning pace that you can't teach someone.
That's right. Look, the problem with Saad is he needs a man up.
Yeah.
Like, you can be loose in the back line if you've got the ball.
Sure.
That's where he falls down. But look,
What's a realistically, is Carlton on the up, or are they looking to recruit and start again?
look, I think we actually do have the talent there.
Yep.
When I was playing junior footy a very long time ago,
Right.
not that long ago, really, there used to be a
around
plaque
the time
on
that Carlton won the comp last.
Yeah, well, actually, it was around that time. 95.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
There was a plaque on the wall, and it said, a team of champions will never beat a champion team.
I would agree with that.
And that is what's happening at Carlton. They've got a lot of top-end recruits, but they're not playing as a team.
Individually, good.
And they're selfish. And
Yeah.
they're not playing for each other.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if we could come up with the answer for Carlton, you wouldn't be sitting here.
No,
a lot of tried, but it's not good for any to have a big club like that down the bottom for so long. Passionate fan base. When they do eventually come up, there's going to be Carlton fans coming out of the woodwork. But boy, they haven't had much to cheer about for a long time. Now, the big talking point of last weekend was Nathan Buckley. Yeah. Now he announces before the game that he's going to resign. I think that the writing was on the wall. Collingwood's much publicised problems. Then they come out and beat the Demons, and everyone says, "Where's this been all year?" What are your thoughts on that? On him announcing his retirement and then the game?
So look, there's behind the scenes there was probably a bit of push and shove for Buckley. He's come out and said that he wants a bit more family time.
The players seem to like him, genuinely play for him.
Yep. Well, and they did, didn't they? Like they did in that last game.
But if you're a Collingwood supporter, you're watching the top team, you're beating the top team, and then the week before, a couple of weeks before, you had no goals at half time. You must be scratching your head.
Yeah, look, they're a young team too.
Yeah,
like, they're actually not as old as what people think.
It was a weird game, wasn't it? A big upset, a happy moment, and then the coach is leaving. And there's a lot of issues at board level at Collingwood is fighting amongst themselves. Hard to know what's going on.
Well, look what's happened this year. Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone, and the three that are gone, Bucks is Eddie's best mate.
Is he?
For sure.
I knew they worked together.
Bucks came in and, they pushed Malthouse out all those years ago.
They did.
It's just... And then Malthouse came over and helped us out. And
maybe Collingwood will get a manager that doesn't have a curse on him and might actually win a premiership.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Buckley's got a bit of that about him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, he's done a lot. He's been a bit unlucky. Let's put it that way.
And throw your hat into the ring, mates. Who is going to win the AFL premiership this year?
This year, well...
This is being recorded, mate, so...
Yeah, so look, I can tell you right now, it will not be Melbourne.
Will not be Melbourne?
Will not be Melbourne.
Interesting.
Okay, they...
Get the yips, you reckon?
Yeah, look, they can play some damn good footy, but they're not going to win this year, mate. Look,
So who are you going for?
Port Adelaide.
Okay, interesting. Round 14 tonight, the Cats and the Bulldogs, mate. Big game. Thoughts? It's going to be in Geelong. They're going to play it in Geelong, but I think no crowds, I think.
Yeah, well, they should probably try no crowds down that end of town, mate. To be completely honest with you.
Sure.
But look, the Cats will get over the line, though.
Okay, you got the Cats.
They're a good team.
Yeah, big game. The no crowd thing is a factor, but Cats at home, I think, too strong.
Yeah, for sure.
I picked them at the start of the year to win the comp, and then about 3 or 4 rounds in, I was like, I don't know about this. But now they're looking like they're coming up. Interesting. Okay, mate. Going to change tack just quickly. Talk quickly about the French Open tennis, mate. Did you see any of that?
Oh, here and there.
Here and there? So just the two finals. We had the women's final, a 2-hour match, pretty brutal game. This Barbara Krejcikova, don't make me say it, but she upset Palyachenkova, unseeded player, 3-set match, 6-4 in that in the third set. But the talking point was the men's, mate, with my man Novak. Yeah. Novaks. Tsitsipas, Richard, who was here last week, had predicted would be the threat. Tsitsipas goes up 2-0. Novak looks gone, and then he just puts on a clinic, mate. Last 3 sets, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4. I was watching the highlights, the extended highlights. Geez, I got to say, he's got some ticker. Like, he's a great tennis player, but he's got no nerves. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Joker.
The Joker. 4 hours and 11 minutes. He's claimed another Grand Slam. And this is leading me on to what I really want to talk to you about, the GOAT debate. Okay?
Yes.
Look, it's been a weird era in tennis, in men's tennis. The 3 highest Grand Slam winners are playing right now, of all time, which is really weird. We've gone through the big 3, okay? Now, I've got the top 5 here. Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Sampras, and I've thrown in old Rocket Rod Laver. Right. Of course. First of all, do you have a personal preference? Who's the GOAT?
Well, if we're talking the GOAT from those top 5...
Well, have you got one that's not on there?
Well, I was a bit of a...
You're going to say Agassi, aren't you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Ed Berg.
Loved him.
Stefan Ed Berg.
Loved him.
Quality player.
Loved him. But look, I think as they come through their own period in time, their game does change.
Sure.
Agree with that. Roger Federer, though, you can't...
He had, in my opinion, the most complete game.
Yep.
Like when Federer was at his prime, it was just beautiful, But looking at the cold hard stats here, so heads up everyone, Roger Federer has won 20 Grand Slams. Rafael Nadal, 20 Grand Slams. Djokovic, 19. Sampras won 15. and Rocket Rod 11. Now, the thing is, all 5 of those players have won the Grand Slam, which is have won each major at least once. Federer's age 39, Nadal's 35, Djokovic is 34, and just for fun, Sampras is 49 and Rocket Rod's 82. So Rod's probably not going to win another one at this point. Okay, so for years the debate was, is Federer the GOAT or is Nadal the GOAT? What if it's neither? Because I'm watching Djokovic the other day. He's on 19 Grand Slams. Mate, he's got some time. He's only 1 year younger than Rafa, but his game and his just physique, he can keep going.
Yeah, I think the 5 you've picked out, I'll have to say, I never saw Rod play.
No.
To be completely honest.
But he was a weapon.
Those top 4, well, he's got a stadium named after him, you know.
He does.
So, you got to do something right.
Yeah.
Well, I won't go there.
But I mean, for all of Nadal's powers, he's won 13 French Opens. Djokovic has won 9 Australian Opens, if you don't mind. 9 Australian Opens, 2 French Opens, 5 Wimbledons, and 3 US Opens. Of those 3 players, he looks like the most likely to keep going. Mm-hmm. He could be statistically the GOAT, you know.
And it's funny because when you talk about the GOAT in tennis, like, do you then bring in the surface? Because, you've got, I don't think Nadal would beat Djokovic on, well, he does, obviously, but Djokovic has probably got him on the hard courts.
Yeah, and this is a significant one because he beat Nadal on clay. It's an interesting debate, but I mean, because Djokovic has won those titles in the Nadal-Federer era, which brings me to the sort of the other players like Andy Roddick, Andy Murray. They've got like what I call the Stuart McGill syndrome, mate. Great players, but just in the wrong era. I mean, if it wasn't for those other guys, how many majors would they have won?
Yeah, true. Andy Murray, he's been injury prone.
Yeah. Yeah, he's basically, his body's cooked. But I mean,
watch him this year, though.
When he was in his pomp, he had to deal with Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic every time, you know.
Yep.
If you're watching this video and you care, just leave a comment. Who is the greatest tennis player of all time? And if your name's Richard Berry, you don't need to reply. I know the answer. Okay, well, guys, we're going to just quickly look at the NHL playoffs. They are going on at the moment. So the defending champions, mate, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they've got the Stanley Cup. They have gone up 2-1. This is this morning against New York. The winner of that will go into the Stanley Cup. So they're up. And there's a Las Vegas and Montreal are playing tomorrow our time. That series is 1-1. Please don't let Montreal through, please. Sorry. Go Vegas. You know, great hockey city, Vegas.
Oh.
Very cold, not in the desert at all.
Everyone's a winner in Vegas.
Tampa Bay and Vegas. Just, how about that?
Go for it.
Let's do it. So we'll keep you posted on that one in the Stanley Cup. Okay, now we're going to talk the world game, a bit of football, mate. The Euro 2020, they're still calling it Euro 2020, even though it's...
Yeah, it's confusing.
It is. I wonder, are we still going to call the Olympics the 2020?
Well,
are we in denial?
Maybe.
We'll see. So this expanded tournament, which means that a couple of countries that wouldn't have gotten in normally have. I'm talking about North Macedonia, I'm talking about Scotland, I'm talking about Slovakia. So there have been a few games. However, there's been some crackers too. Mm-hmm. Have you seen any of this?
Spain.
You're on the Spain train. Is that...
And hard done by. Didn't
what do you mean?
That 80% of the possession.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, yeah, you've got to convert.
Yeah, I know. Look, at the end of the day, they're hard done by. Spain. That's what's going on. They're going to win it.
All right. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, all around.
Now, Italy, I've caught my eye, looking good. They've come in, Richard was talking about a 28-0 goal difference in the qualification. They're on a 6-0 goal difference. They've already gone through to the next thing. Yeah. Those guys have got defence like, I don't know. And
they've clearly got attack.
They got attack too. I mean, Italy, they look strong, and you know, just
who'd they play?
They beat Turkey.
Yep.
And who'd they play this yesterday? I can't think, but they towed them up 3-0. This is they're no easy beats. I think they're a legit contender for sure. But there is a pool of death. Okay. Now, Group F definitely. We mentioned it last week. Portugal, France, Germany, and Hungary. The thing is that Germany, their football royalty, were beaten in the first game by France, which is interesting because now Germany play Portugal in basically a must-win game.
Yep.
Portugal, obviously, they won with Ronaldo firing. Ronaldo looks pumped. It's on. If Germany were to go out, like straight sets, that would be unbelievable. Right?
You wouldn't want to be going back to Germany.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, this is the team that they won the World Cup, beat Brazil, was at 7-2 in Brazil. I mean, this is Germany. This is the team that people think should be in the final pretty much,
walk-up start.
That game against Portugal, that is going to be...
It's a cracker.
It's going to be a cracker. And then with that one, France have got Hungary, so those sort of... Hungary could just play the spoil if they can take some points off someone. But obviously, out of the three, France, Germany and Portugal, only two can go through. So if Portugal can at least... If they could get a win or something, it'd be huge. Now, the big talking point was the game the other night. Christian Eriksen for Denmark has had a cardiac arrest on the field.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it live. I woke up and I'd seen something on the news about the drama, and I checked it out online. Did you see it?
No, I was told about it. Someone said, there's been a cardiac arrest on in the footy, and I'm like, you sure?
Yeah. Yeah. So for those who don't know, the player, he's just collapsed. He's a high-profile player. Basically was found to be pulseless and CPR was performed. Imagine being the paramedic or the doctor on that one, mate. You're on a sports special.
A few eyes watching.
You're like, hey, how good I'm at the Euro, getting paid. Next thing, you're doing a resus in front of, I think there was 40,000 in the stadium and a couple of million on watching it live.
Yep.
Big job, that one.
Imagine the old super diverting you. Getting on the radio, so I'm into the PA. No, you're not.
Big job, that one. The player, Eriksen, is okay. He's going to make a full recovery. He's been fitted with an internal defibrillator. I don't know if he'll play football again, but I don't think that even really...
Is this the first, cardiac incident he's ever had? He's an elite sportsman.
Yes, yes.
So...
I remember back in the Premier League, it's got to be 10 years ago, where a guy was actually shocked, defibrillated on the field maybe 10 times and ended up living. It happens. And apparently it was brought up to me that it was African Cup of Nations where a player collapsed and died on the field. Fit, healthy guys.
Several years ago, do you want to know a fact that, look, at the end of the day...
I would love to hear a fact.
More people die during squash and cycling as a sport than any other sport in the world.
Really? Just higher cardio?
Yeah, it's the age.
I have heard about squash.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Last time I played squash, I nearly died. Okay, so Denmark lost that game, but you could forgive them. But there was great scenes last night. They've played another game, Denmark at home against Belgium. Christian Eriksen wears the number 10 jersey. In the 10th minute, they kicked it out. Both teams stopped and had a clap, a moment of celebration. It was a great moment. It shows you that people can be, good human beings.
How do you get up for the next game? How do you get up?
Yeah, I know. And they got beaten. So, anyway, high drama. Thankfully, he's okay. And just quickly, A-League, the Brisbane Roar's season has come to an end, mate. My beloved Roar. Beaten at home in the elimination final 2-1 by Adelaide. The other game is interesting. You got Central Coast, who've had a bit of a Cinderella story, beaten by Macarthur. It's Macarthur's first ever season, ever.
Yep.
So the new team, they're in the big semi-finals this weekend. The much favoured Melbourne City are going to play Macarthur. Winner into the grand final. Sydney FC versus Adelaide.
Where are Macarthur from?
They are Western Sydney.
Okay.
Yes, Western,
nice.
Southwest Sydney.
Yep.
So there's now 3 Sydney teams. And there's also Western United, the Western Melbourne team as well. I think the script is there for Sydney versus Melbourne in the final. That'd be the game if you're a betting man, and you are. Bet the farm on that one, mate. We'll keep you posted on the A-League there.
There's not much farm left.
And I'm just going to touch on some NRL. Now, this week the talking point was Boyd Cordner has retired. He was meant to be, hasn't played all year. Was meant to come back in round 12. We're up to round 14 now. He's just called it. Concussion. This will not go away, mate.
No, it doesn't.
No. No.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So I haven't had you on before. Just quickly, mate, thoughts on concussion and the crackdown?
So, look, at the end of the day, you got to look after your players. They got family, they got life after football, all those sort of things. But it's a contact sport, and they get paid pretty well.
They do.
I don't know, these guys lead with their head half the time.
Yep.
They say that in the NFL that helmets actually made it more of a dangerous sport because they felt invincible.
And you can also use the helmet as a weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're defending.
Do you bring in some sort of head protection in the NRL to try and compensate a little bit? I'm not talking a skid lid like we had in the 80s, like a hard plastic helmet. But
No. Well, Luke was on here. He's a boxing guy on All Sports Weekly a month ago or so. He was saying that the amateur boxing have taken headgear away.
Yep.
It's proven that you feel like you can take more low contact sort of concussive hits. Actually, the science says that they don't help. In fact, they might actually hinder.
Yeah, exactly. They sort of give you that barrier, that sort of sense of belief that you can do this, but you can't.
So what do you think about the crackdown?
Ah.
Because the reason I mentioned that Kobe Hetherington for the Broncos, this is going back to last weekend, was sent off for a hit on a Canberra player who basically tripped up and fell into him. So
Chested him.
Yeah.
Chested him.
I mean, it is a joke. He got sent off, so not sin bin, but sent off. When he goes to the tribunal, he got no suspension and they slapped a $1,500 fine on him. So that game was changed. Then the tribunal says, there's nothing in it. I mean, this is the teething problems, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So is that an issue around the umpiring of that?
Absolutely.
The culture of the umpiring, the education around that.
Well, it's cracked down on the fly. It's administration. It's the magic round. All of a sudden, it's this. Next week, it's this. Now we've got this. Oh man,
But it changes the game.
It changes the game.
That's something I've never really understood. Being sent off.
Yeah, sent off.
Sent off.
Yeah.
If you do something wrong, you might spend a few weeks on the sidelines, but that game you're there.
Yeah.
You're already there. Got the boots on.
You get sent off, and then the tribunal says you got nothing to answer for.
Yeah.
But that game, the Broncos lost that game in that 10 minutes. So, we're running out of time, mate. Just quickly as well on my favourite subject, the Broncos, 46-0 last night. Lol. Tangai's been told he can leave, and then he's facing a 4-game ban for a crusher tackle. The Broncos' woes continue. Good times. Now, we've got a new segment this week, Brendan's Beef.
All right.
What's your beef?
Well, it's the way people are talking about Nathan Buckley.
Okay.
He's done nothing, no premierships. He left Brisbane for premierships. He hasn't...
That's me. I'm saying that.
Well, yeah, I know. You're one of them.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm ready. Hit me.
Okay, so you know what he's done?
Tell me.
I'm going to give you a quick rundown on Nathan Buckley.
Right.
So, drafted in 91, refused to go to Brisbane because he wanted to go to a Big Four club. So, none of this, I went to Brisbane, hated it, wanted to come back. He told it from day one. Didn't want to go there.
Yep.
He stayed in the SAFL, the South Australian Footy League, for 2 more years before he actually went to Brisbane in 93.
Yep.
Okay, because he couldn't play for anyone else. Went up there, they gave him 1-year contract, said if you want to go back somewhere, go back somewhere. He did.
How long is this going for?
It's not going for too long,
right.
Okay? But Copeland trophies, he's got 6 of them. He's best and fairest winner. He's the captain of one of the Big Four clubs. He's done it all.
Great player.
Yeah. Brownlow, Norm Smith in a losing 2002 grand final. He's a great guy.
And? And you think he's been maligned?
Oh, I think people are looking at it all the wrong way. And actually, Kyle is looking at it all the wrong way.
Okay.
He is one of Brisbane's greatest ever players.
A personal shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. Will he ever coach again? Yes or no? Will he coach it again?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
No. He's done.
Brendan's Beef. Now, mate, we've got 1 hot minute before we close. Are you ready? The GOAT debate, Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Bloody right. If there was a new AFL team, where should it be?
Tassie.
Should Paul Gallen retire?
Oh, yes.
After getting knocked out?
Oh, of course.
Should Serena Williams retire?
Yes.
Can Queensland win State of Origin 2?
Unlikely.
And should Brisbane be trying to get the Olympics in 2032?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so too.
Of course. Why not?
Cool. That's all we got time for, mate.
All right.
How'd you
go?
Pleasure. Yeah?
Love it.
Good one.
Love it.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll be back next week. Have a great week, and catch you then.